Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode on Let's Focus on the MENA region. My name is Ayla Hotic and I'm political advisor for Middle East and North Africa in the European People's Party. As you know, over the past decade, Middle East and North Africa have experienced a sustained turmoil. In EPP, we have decided that in the upcoming months we will be conducting a series of interviews related to the MENA region, together with politicians who are really focusing and following the region very closely. Today, we will be discussing Morocco for our first episode with Mr. Andrey Kovatchev. Mr. Kovatchev is a member of European Parliament. He is also the head of the Bulgarian EPP delegations. And Mr. Kovatchev is also the spokesperson for the EPP group, but he's also rapporteur on Morocco. So, Mr. Kovatchev, thank you for accepting our invitation and welcome. You have visited Morocco last September. You spent quite some days in the country. What was your assessment following your visit about the general situation in the country, but also the EU-Morocco relations? What were the main topics that you discussed with your counterparts? So if you can give us a bit of an overview on the visit.
Morocco is one of the best partners for the European Union in North Africa. This is a like-minded country. I visited the country just after the democratic elections, which lead to a change, to a peaceful change of the government. And we can assess from our side, and what I saw that this transition of the previous government and now the current government was done very smoothly with any problems like it is in every democratic country. The new government and the Prime Minister who I met, Mr. Agamouche, is very much interested to deepen the relations with the European Union. This is in benefits from both sides, the European Union, the member states and Morocco, but also the stability and the development of the North African region and the whole African region, because Morocco is one good example in Africa for the functioning of a democracy in this continent. So my finding from this visit is that Morocco insists for deepening the relations in many fields where indeed we can be that can be of benefits from both sides.
You mentioned the partnership between Morocco and the EU. We talk a lot about the agriculture and fisheries agreements, but you mentioned also that there are other sectors in which we can deepen the relation and the partnership. Could you give us a bit of further details on a kind of sectors where we could work further with Morocco?
Definitely, we can work, and we work with Morocco on many economical sectors, trade, energy. Energy is a big topic because Morocco can and will be one of our best partners for renewable energy, for production of green hydrogen, for possibilities to build infrastructure to the European continent and provide this renewable to us. And for sure, security, migration, this is a topic of highly interest for us, but not only this topic. We for sure don't like to downgrade our relations only on one topic. We have the whole field of different issues. Don't forget also geopolitical issues. We welcome very much the Abraham Accords and the normalization of the relations with Israel, and on this field we can continue to work with Morocco as a good partner.
You mentioned the sectors where we've been working very closely with them, but there is one specific sector on which I would like to focus, is the fight against the illegal migration. I guess this was also one of the topics that you most probably discussed during your visit in Morocco. Morocco has played a very strong role when it comes to the fight against illegal migration. How do you assess it, and to what extent has Morocco been a really reliable partner in this regard?
We need to be clear to see the figure. In the last 5 years, Morocco prevented almost 300,000 illegal crossing of the line to European Union member states. And if we take the last 10 years, there are almost 500,000 such prevented illegal crossings. On the field of fight against radicalization and terrorism, also Morocco provides a lot of intelligence information to our intelligence services in the European Union, and this partnership is extremely important for European Union. We can deepen this, and we can also support Morocco, because from the side of Morocco, they invest indeed over 8,000 border guards and people in the security services in Morocco to prevent such illegal crossings. And Morocco can work even better with the support of European agencies, the Frontex, the coastal guards from the European side. This is again, like in other fields, of benefits for the both sides.
I would like just to move now to another topic, a more regional one, let's say, the relation between Morocco and Algeria. There have been tensions over the past months, rising tensions, and Algeria has decided not to renew the Maghreb-Europe gas pipeline while Europe is going through an energy crisis. How do you see this?
First of all, a general observation, it is very sad to see that these long-standing problems between the two countries are not seen to be resolved at the moment. In opposite, the border is still closed. There is no so much relations between the both countries, which is something very regrettable. From European side, we would like to see a good cooperation between the both countries. Also, this non-renewal of the pipeline is a sign that the relations are not improving. For sure, Algeria is having their point of view that they are going to compensate Portugal, Italy, and Spain with the missing gas delivered by this non-renewed pipeline, but it's still very disappointing, this situation, and we call on the both sides. And when I was there, I also called to the Moroccan side, but when I met with a representative of Algeria here in Brussels, also to their side, that they sit down on the table and try to overcome these problems from the past. We had many statements also from His Majesty the King, providing or giving the opportunity to improve the relations with Algeria.
While the tensions, let's say, remain between Morocco and Algeria, Morocco has been having a long-standing relation and good cooperation with the other African countries. While, I mean, it's true that we have more than 50 years long and deep cooperation with Morocco, on the other side, they have been very much also involved on the African level. How can this asset be optimized in the framework of African Union EU partnership, keeping in mind that there is a summit between the African Union and EU next month?
First of all, from our side, we should not see our relations with Africa only from the point of view of development aid. We should see as a very important partner for us in all these fields what we discussed before: migration, fight against extremism and terrorism, trade, economy, energy, very important, and geopolitics. Because if we, as the European Union, we are not present there, there are other geopolitical players like China, Russia, which are going, and they are on the way to fill this vacuum or gap in many of the African countries. Morocco, as a functioning democracy, is a good example for many African countries that democracy is possible, and in Africa, effective, good functioning democracy is possible with all the limitations. And I'm not saying that everything is perfect in Morocco. We have also issues to be improved, as in every other country in the world. But in the framework of Africa, Morocco is one of our best partner, which we need to deepen the relations with.
Last but not least, what could we expect for the 2022 regarding Morocco-EU relation?
Indeed, I expect and I hope that we can deepen our relations with many economical sectors, especially on energy. On the last State of the Union of Ursula von der Leyen, she mentioned is that in North Africa we see a huge potential for achieving our goals of the Green Deal, and Morocco will play definitely a very important role there. I hope finding a settlement on the issues with agriculture, with fishery, that we can be of benefits, that this can be of benefits for both sides.
Thank you, Mr. Kovatchev.